Indeedee and Armarouge used to be one of the strongest pairings in the entire game. Indeedee, one of the very few Pokemon who can actually learn Follow Me, had an ability called Psychic Terrain. This made it so priority moves like Palafin's Jet Punch and Dragonite's Extreme Speed didn't work. But that's not the reason this pairing is popular. The real reason this pairing is so good is because of the move Expanding Force. This move is insane. It already has a decent base power of 80, plus a 1.5 times and a 1.3 times multiplier. When in Psychic Terrain, this move hits both targets with insane psychic damage. And back in Series 1 and 2, the only common Dark types were Hydreigon, Kingambit, and Meowscarada. Indeedee got access to Dazzling Gleam, which is 4 times super effective on Hydreigon, and Armarouge got Armor Cannon, a very strong fire move which is super effective against Kingambit and Meowscarada. Now, in Regulation C, this pairing is barely used. Where did it all go wrong? The main reason Indeedee and Armarouge isn't used is because of the Treasures of Ruin, or the Ruin Pokemon. These Pokemon are a group of 4, consisting of the legendary Shinpao, Chi-Yu, Wo-Chien, and Ting-Lu. These Pokemon share more than just the unique names. They share the move Ruination, the abilities of Ruin, and the Dark type. Now, we briefly touched on why the Dark type was so bad for Indeedee and Armarouge, but it's time we go into it with more detail. The Dark type is completely immune to Psychic, and it only takes super effective damage from Bug, Fairy, and Fighting. So even though Indeedee has a Fairy move, it won't be doing much damage to bulky Dark types. So when you're stuck battling a Dark type, what do? Well, your options are to switch, Terra, or lose Indeedee and Armarouge. The only coverage move that Armarouge gets access to is Aura Sphere, but since Armarouge is so slow anyway, it won't be outspeeding fast Dark types like Meowscarada and Shinpao, but it doesn't have the attack power to kill bulky Dark types like Wo-Chien and Ting-Lu. Although Expanding Force was incredibly powerful as an early game meta in Scarlet and Violet, during the times of Series 1 and 2, it stopped being as good in Regulation C due to the Ruins. The Ruins instantly took over the format as soon as they were released. Initially, Shinpao dominated out of the Ruins, but slowly, people started to realize that Ting-Lu was a better choice. Now, Ting-Lu is the most common Ruin in tournaments, but unfortunately for Armarouge, its Fire-type moves don't stand a chance against this beast. Ting-Lu's ability, Vessel of Ruin, lowers all special attack except its own, meaning that with an Assault Vested Ting-Lu, Armarouge won't be doing much damage. Along with this, Ting-Lu gets the move Stomping Tantrum, a powerful ground move that doubles in power if the last move it uses fails. This means that Ting-Lu has an extremely easy time disposing of Armarouge. Indeedee, on the other hand, usually only runs one attacking move, Psychic, meaning that Ting-Lu is not under any pressure, but it threatens and walls both Indeedee and Armarouge. We can't mention Ruins without mentioning Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu, like Houndoom, is a Fire Dark type. This means it completely walls Indeedee and Armarouge. The only difference is that Chi-Yu isn't immune to fire like Houndoom, and instead just resists them. Another problem with Indeedee and Armarouge is Palafin. Although Palafin loses access to his Jet Punch in Psychic Terrain, it can still Wave Crash, so you don't wall Palafin. But that's not the reason why Indeedee and Armarouge fell from the top. The reason it stopped being good was because you couldn't run Palafin. You would lose access to one of Palafin's best moves, Jet Punch, and you weren't really getting anything in return. Since Palafin is insanely good, not having it for a reason like that really hurts your team. So, what did happen to Indeedee and Armarouge? The Ruins and Palafin became too good in the current metagame, meaning that other teams were just outright better, and it was hard to justify running Indeedee and Armarouge in an official tournament. With teams like Palance right now, which are just better in every way, it's super hard to warrant actually bringing Indeedee and Armarouge. Thank you all for watching.